Give me 1 second.
Oh, yeah, and I think I need to enable screen sharing anyway. Okay, it should be active now.
Are we doing the Flappy Bird one or
Flappy
our
Bird?
game one? Okay.
Flappy Bird. Basically, the project we got yesterday didn't seem to be the Flappy Bird project. It had like, it just had one file in it that was like a tree.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. We're all like, huh?
Or anything about trees.
Sorry, I was like in a rush, so I was like, okay, I think this is it. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Hold up 1 second. But how's like the project overall?
I think there's some places where they have some roadblocks that they need to get through. I do see the art coming along nicely. I do see we've got a lot of the kind of the menu interactions going from one place to another in because we all worked together on it the other week. So it's actually closer than I think you realize, because really once we get in the basics of Flappy Bird, then we can start making the modifications and everything should kind of fall into place as long as everything is done with great care.
Okay. It's just importing right now.
Sure. Oh, and oh, like you opened up the project and it's getting a little progress bar.
Yes.
Oh, when you get a chance, share that screen and I'll look over what's going on.
Justin, can I ask how many weeks do we have left? I'm afraid to.
5 or 6, I think.
Okay.
I think 5.
All right.
That's not too
I
bad.
thought we only have like 3 weeks, and I was actually panicking.
Oh, it's due tomorrow. It's due tomorrow.
Oh, wow, nice.
Can you see
Watch
it?
me jump from my
Yeah,
roof.
that's perfect. This is perfect. I don't know what happened when we did the transfer. Maybe you accidentally clicked the wrong file, but let's right click anywhere in here. Any file, it doesn't matter. Any file, yeah, like that. And then there should be Show and Explorer. It's the second option from the top. I don't see that window anymore. Oh, I think because you're only sharing the Unity window. Could you share your full screen instead so I can instruct?
Oh, shoot. Can you see it now?
Not yet. Oh, well, now it's a blank screen and let's...
Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So now we're up here. You can close out of the Unity project since all we need is this kind of folder here.
Okay. I have my stuff in the background, so.
Oh, yeah, so leave it up.
Leave it. Yes. It's mostly on my
and I see that
project.
Yeah, and I see that Minecraft in the bottom. So we can hold if you hit Control A, so that just selects everything, and now hold Control and just tap on Library with your mouse. I think that should deselect it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now right click and send to zip. Nice. File not found or no read permission. Interesting. Okay, hit OK. Go up one folder. So as in other words, along the top, you see it's, yeah, go there, boom. And now right click mobile media project and hit, yeah, try that. And you should have a little pop-up saying it's like trying to zip it. Unless it's still complaining at us. Oh, interesting. What's going on with your machine? What's happening here?
Oh, because
Okay.
I have like several things coming. Let me.
Well, yeah, but there are other options we can take.
Aborting.
So the other option we have is if you go back to Unity, if you right click the scene in the bottom, the actual name of the scene file. So it's actually like in the folder here. So see the Unity logo icon right there. Yeah. Is this the scene that has the Flappy Bird in it?
Yeah.
Okay. So right click that scene and export package. And let me just look through here. Does that look like everything we need? I think so.
Oh,
Flappy
you
Bird.
can like screen request. So you can like control the other person's screen.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
View options.
You the remote control.
Request remote control. Oh, okay. Sure.
And then you can move around my screen.
Click the mouse keyboard control. So do you see me? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, weird.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
I forgot to mention that. Sorry.
This is the future. Okay, so I'm just looking through here. It looks like this is everything we need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that enemy behavior where I was saying, oh, we can make enemies. And then we can make types of enemies. Scrolling object is already in the other scene. I noticed that we don't have a reference to those columns. There's the column script, but where's the prefab? Where's the prefab? So here's ground bird. There's prefabs. Oh, right, we're doing the stupid. That's right. Okay, so this guy. Where's that thing that spawns all the? Oh wait, yeah. Where's the thing that spawns the columns? Oops, forgot. It looks like I can't play the game. Okay, so I need to also. I see scenes here. Main. Oh,
Main.
oh, what's this? What's this? Do we have columns? Oh, we do.
Yeah.
There's okay, yeah. So Lexi, this is what I was talking about. I was like, we already set it up so that like you can spawn enemies instead of columns, and therefore you could make them do whatever you want. So I had one that moves up and down and one that moves in a circle.
Okay.
And they behave exactly like a column in that when you hit them, you die. So you go. Can I hit? It's hard.
Can you do like both
I'm having trouble hitting
like
the
column?
Yep, you can.
So they can spawn randomly?
Yeah, so basically what happens is we have, if I press play, and by the way, now that I know this is the right scene, I can say export this package, and I should see now that it brings the prefabs along with it right there. Mm-hmm. And it's going to bring out a little Kirby.png. Okay, so now the answer is yes, we can do that. And the answer to how we can do it is if I go to scenery, I'm looking for the thing that spawns is it game control maybe? See how, okay, so this column pool is the thing that spawns the columns. Except in our case, we replaced it with spawning enemies. And the way that it knows to spawn something looks like every, I'm just reading here, every like 4 seconds, it's going to make a size of 7, like a scale size, probably 7 elements, and it's going to spawn, in this case, enemies, which is 2 enemies as a prefab. Before, it was set to columns, so that when I play, it's going to just create this instance over and over again, if I can play well enough. Okay, I see one coming up. And there they are. So we can spawn columns, we can spawn whatever we want. And how do we change what that is? I could pop into column here. And instead of having a prefab of a single column I can generate. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, sweet. Sure. So instead of this, I can, oh, goodness, geez. Okay, so now instead of this, I can have an array of prefabs that I can spawn from. An array is just a fancy word for a collection. I have a collection of prefabs I can spawn from instead of having a single column I can make. And since it's not just columns, maybe I'll call it like, it's called column pool. I'll accept it. We might want to rename that to like obstacle pool, and then this would be called like obstacle prefabs, because it's not really just columns anymore. But I'll call it obstacle prefabs. And if I just hit tab, will it go there? No. The obstacles that can spawn. Maybe I will keep column prefab on its own so I can just see how it's used everywhere. Oh, it's only used in one spot. And here, so it's saying, okay, I want to make a new column, and I want to put it wherever. Object pool position, which is probably a position that's always right off screen. Because everything in the game is actually moving to the left over time. So if it puts it on the right of the screen, then it'll slowly move left over. So now instead of spawning a specific prefab, column pool size, that means how many times am I going to spawn something? So how far ahead am I going to spawn? Let's say int random, because we're randomly selecting a column or a Kirby or a circle spin an enemy or vines or whatever. We just have a big list of stuff. So I'm going to say int random obstacle, and you select an item in an array. So if I have an array of what I call it, obstacle prefabs here. So if I have obstacle prefabs, it could be a bunch of different stuff, like the Kirby and the columns and 2 Kirbys and all that type of stuff. And the way that you get to a particular one of those obstacles is the same as here. So if I say I want to get obstacle number 1, that's actually columns, because Kirby is 0. It's a 0 indexed array. So, I want to get item 1. I want to get item number 3, and that would be whatever this is. So however many objects you have, I want to randomly select one of them. So the way I randomly select something is I have a random obstacle. That's my index, and it's going to be one of these based on the length. So length means, if there's 3 objects, it'll return 3. So I want to get random.range something in between 0 and the amount of obstacles I have. And I'm just reading here. Does it say inclusive or exclusive? Return a random integer within max exclusive. So that means if I tell it to pick something between 0 and 3, the highest number it will ever return is 2, because it's excluding 3. That's what that exclusive means right there. So it's inclusive of 0 and exclusive of the top. And the reason that you do that is, or that's typical, is because, like I said, an array is 0 indexed. The first element is 0. So if I say pick between 0 and the length of the array's length would be 3 items, but the last item's index, the way I would get to it is by using the number 2. So that's why they do the exclusive thing there. That's just a fun fact. Sorry that welcome to my TED Talk. Okay, so we have this random obstacle now. And I'll rename this to random obstacle index just because that's more accurate to what it is. Index. And now I'll have my game object. It's like just enough of a delay to throw me off a little bit. Game object random obstacle object equals my obstacle prefabs at that location at random obstacle index. Boom. And now instead of using the column prefab, I will use the random object. And now I technically don't need this variable anymore. Get out of here. I never want to see you again. And now, all right, I have 2 screens, you don't. I was trying to drag it over to my other monitor. So if I minimize this, I guess that's how I could do it. It's going to compile. And then now instead of column prefab, I'm going to see, come on, I'm going to see obstacle prefabs. It's going to say, okay, what obstacles do you want to appear in here? I'm going to hit the lock button up here just so I can click on stuff down here and not get distracted. I'm just checking here. Is this object already set up? Let me move my camera here. If I shrink these down. Okay, these are prefabs. Those are textures. The way I know it's a prefab is because it has those boxes. So I don't need the scenery, but I do need the bird, the columns, and the enemies. So what are enemies? Enemies, okay, that's 2 Kirby's. Columns are that, and bird is that. So I probably just want column and enemies. So now let's, I still have it frozen over here, don't I? Yeah, I do. So I'm gonna select columns and enemies. And eventually you'd have vines and all that kind of stuff. And now I can just drag that into this list, boom. And if I press play, I'll unlock this. I'll go back to my scene. And now when I press play, I should see different, either the columns or the Kirby's show up at random. Now, I say random because we might not see it for a little while because it's selecting, it's doing a coin flip a few times. God, I'm terrible. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so bad. So there's the Kirby's. Okay. Okay. And then we get 2 columns. Did I mention how hard it is to play over a remote? Okay, you get 2 Kirby's and then get 2 columns. And so okay, we got 2 Kirby's and another Kirby. And so it's random each time which ones we get. Does that answer your question of how we'd get around to spawning different types of objects using this Flappy Bird script?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Wow, I am terrible at Flappy Bird apparently.
Oh, me too. That's why I gave up playing that game.
Oh yeah, I can just do this.
Wait, how do you make sure like the player doesn't like cheat and go over?
You'd probably like say if they're not, you'd either add a ceiling, just like how if I hit the floor, I die. You could just duplicate this object and change the texture and put it on the top. Or if you don't want them to die when they hit the top, you could, in their code of the player, which is bird, Where's this code? Oh, there it is. The Boyd script. You could say if input get mouse down is whatever, and you'd put this inside if the game object dot transform dot position dot y is less than whatever the ceiling height is, then allow the tap to happen. Otherwise, don't allow it to happen, so they'll have to fall down.
Okay.
That'd be another one. Or over time, if we could, in addition to doing the add force stuff, we could say if the height is greater than, don't give me that autocomplete, I'm pseudocoding here. If the height is greater than whatever, then RB2D, which is a rigid body 2D, which is how physics works, dot velocity dot y is equal to 0. So like if it's trying to go upward and you're already at whatever maximum height you have, then just turn off whatever upward momentum you had. And it wouldn't be exactly this, because that would mean if he's falling, his even if he was above that point and he was falling, then it would set his y velocity to 0, so he'd get stuck on the top because he'd never be able to fall and never be able to rise. So you'd actually say like if the height is greater than something and the rigid body dot velocity dot y is greater than 0, then set it to 0. So as if you hit a wall, you can do it like that too. Bim bam boom. And that's how I do it. It's just one line of code. I think it'd be fine. But I'll leave that out for now because I don't have any actual implementation for that. I just guessed. Sure. Save. And now that we're here, I can go to that. I'm gonna. Do I want to rename this to a different folder name? Flappy Bird style. That'll be fine. I'll go to scenes, main, export package, and it's all. Oh, I forgot to move these two pictures into sprites for ease. I'm going to make a folder in here. We'll call one environment. Call the other player, just because I'm a good boy. Player and enemies. Or obstacles, maybe. Bird goes into player. Columns and enemies go into obstacles. Scenery goes into environment. And now I can always go, oh, where are the obstacles? There they are. Cool, I'm good. And then Sarah would make duplicates of the thing she was working on yesterday and just work them all into here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Whew. Okay, so next step. Where's my brain? Oh, I found it. Okay, so I go to scenes. Actually, it looks like I go to this scenes, right click, and export package. That all looks good. Export. And is your downloads folder okay to put it?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes.
Okay, I'll call it Flappy Bird.Unity package. Cool. Boom. And now I'll let you drive so that you can open. Do you have the most recent version of Curing Rush on here? Or I could switch to my computer and just take this file.
I think, guys, do we have the newer version? I think we had the older version.
You need package or just like the most recent pull?
The most recent GitHub pull. Like, are you connected to GitHub and everything or not?
Oh yeah, I am.
Okay, so maybe we could either work off yours or work off mine. I have no preference. I just would need access to this file.
Do you want to do it in your computer?
Sure.
Chat.
So
Whoa.
how about you stop sharing your screen?
Okay.
Then you give this to me in Discord, just so
Uh-huh.
that, if you don't want anything shown, just stop sharing your screen and hook me up with this file, and then I'll share my screen and we'll continue.
Okay.
Cool. Hopefully that fits in Discord. I don't know. It's kind of a lot, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's fine.
I don't know. Sometimes I try to send like a 4-second video. It's like, no, this is too big.
Mm-hmm.
You will not send a video of your friend's dog eating a banana. Actually, it let me send that one.
Yeah, I usually use WeTransfer because you can like quickly upload and share it. But it would be nice if Discord just worked consistently. Okay, so I just got that file. I will share my screen. Screen 1, cool. And you are Curing Rush, which is there, but let me just verify. I pop open GitHub. GitHub. Oh, looks like I'm fetching something.
Yeah, like I did a little work last night, putting like the last button, and then I know Sarah, she finished up the vines, but she needed me like to check it out because I was having some problems playing on her computer. So I played really fast, and yeah, they were in there, but I think only one vine was working as it should, if I remember, and then the rest, it kind of moved to like, I think the right, and then it kind of just collected, and then it wouldn't move from there.
It looks like she made all of them not as prefabs. It looks like she duplicated objects in the scene, which isn't exactly right, but we can work around that. Okay, so I got these two. I'm gonna pop in over to Curing Rush. Oh, I gotta select a version. I think you're in like 2019 or something, right? At 2019.4, which of course I don't have, so I'll just do this. And then I won't push that change. I'll even uncheck it now to make sure I don't push that change. Where's my Git? I always lose the icon. Yeah, don't do that. I should close this. My other Unity project. You can do it. Sometimes it takes like a minute and a half for me to close a Unity project. It's insane. A minute and 4 seconds it's been closing this file. Ugh. All right, here we are. So now I'll pop over to map or to, is it level 1?
Level 2.
Level 2. Let's check this out. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know why it's so tiny.
That just happens. Yeah, so all of these If I hit select, oh, they're all within the same parent obstacle, Thorns obstacle. Okay, so that's what's gonna, so, okay, so this one, select Thorns obstacle A. These were all supposed to be their own obstacles. So what I can do, just verifying, if I click in here, that has a collider. Something's wonky. I think these have to be on the parent. I'll look into it in a bit. Okay. Anyway, because if this is moving to the right with this scrolling object script, but the collider is staying behind because there's no script on it, then you're gonna have a problem.
Oh.
Well, you're gonna not be able to know where the hitbox is. So I'm not sure if I had it set up like that mistakenly or if that was something else, but we'll sort that out. Anyway, okay. So now we have this object. I can go to my downloads folder, download. I'm downloading Flappy Bird, and I can drag it into here, boom. And it's bringing along with it bird.cs and the scenes and all that type of stuff. I will take the scene. Yeah, it's all inside of here, so it's fine. And then bird.cs, I know it just got renamed to fairy, I think, in this one. So I'll take it all. Import. Okay, so it's all in here. So what doesn't it like? It doesn't like, oh, that there's 2 columns. Yep, that makes sense. So we can delete all the duplicate scripts. So I'm just popping in here and I'm reading. Yeah, so there's 2 things called column. This one is in normal assets script, where if I go to project character or Flappy Bird scripts, there should be a column in here as well, and that's exactly the problem. And it doesn't know what bird is. It doesn't know what game controller is. So there's probably 2 game controllers. Yeah, so game controller, column, probably scrolling object. I think those are the only ones that are going to have overlap with the other one. So I just want to compare the scripts to see if there's anything unique done in them. So like, come on, we got that one, and we've got Flappy Bird style scripts, scrolling object. So I'm opening both of them. Am I crazy? Didn't I click on the other scrolling object as well? So let's see the differences. Spot the differences, the game. Okay, those are all pretty similar. I believe they're both basically exactly the same. I approve. So maybe I'll get rid of, I'm deciding which one I want to delete. I'll delete this one in case there's, because I ever miss logic in somewhere else. So scrolling object was a duplicate. We're all in agreement. Game control, I'll compare those 2 scripts to see if there's any meaningful differences between them. And then I'll decide, okay, I'm going to delete it. And just, does everybody get what I'm doing and how I'm troubleshooting this problem?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. So basically I imported stuff and there's already files of the same name. And it's like, well, I don't know what to do with these. So here's one game control and there's the other. And let's compare. They're both singletons. That makes sense. Okay. Game over. If I get the mouse button, cool. If, okay, there's some score text and I'll try to output the score. in the one that is in this one, if game over happens, then it kicks you back to the first scene. And then it sets active on, okay, on bird died versus on fairy died. That's fine. Who calls this? Find all references. Huh. Well, anyway, if I go to here and I say, who calls on bird died? Because we have game control. The only meaningful differences is the use of the keyword bird versus fairy. So I'm going to be lazy. Until we want to clean it up more. They're the same method. So I'm just saying, okay, if somebody tries to say fairy died, then bird died, and it does the same thing. What else? The other thing was we want to load the scene if the mouse is hit. So if, oh, fair. Okay, so it's doing that. This reloads just this scene, but we actually want to reload scene 0. And so that's the intended behaviors. You want to go back to the start screen whenever the player dies?
I don't know about start screen. I think when we were like planning it out, it was bring back to like the map maybe. Or
Okay,
like maybe like a replay or play option. I'm gonna try and like make some like little pop-up things maybe like around like one of the earlier weeks for like the menu thing where it's like option menu and stuff like that.
Okay, so it looks like that's map 2. So I'll just say loads map screen upon restart.
Okay.
And that can change over time. Okay, so that should happen. And now I feel safe deleting game control. Get out of here, game control. Boom. Fairy, I'll leave. What do I care? I'm going to compare fairy and bird to see if there's any meaningful differences. Scripts, bird. The only meaningful differences I've noticed so far is like comments versus no comments. Okay, that's all the same. On collision, enter 2D. Oh, see, there is somebody that calls it. Remember how I right-clicked and I found all references and I couldn't find it? Weird. Okay, so the only meaningful difference is one calls bird died and the other called fairy died. So, do I care? I don't think I care. I'll leave them both for now. We'll have to pick one eventually. I just want to check with when column gets hit by something, does it check that it's a fairy or does it check that it's a, yeah, it checks to see if it has the bird script in it. Okay, so now I'm like, oh, I could go through and try to sort this out. Fortunately, there's not that many behaviors. Yeah, sure. So move update, enemy behavior. An enemy is also a scrolling object, which it doesn't know what it is anymore because I deleted that script. If I go to scrolling object and the other one, it's cleaning up the loose ends. Okay, scrolling object doesn't check to see if what it hit is a bird, because the bird is the thing that does the check. Okay. Oh, this is a trigger. Oh, this is for increasing the score. I'm the stupid dum-dum. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So, sure. Yes. Okay, so I feel safe. Nothing is too different. I'm going to get rid of column because column's over here. It's actually the same problem happened to a different group when they're trying to like work together. And so it's normal. And let's see how many errors we have now. See how there's much fewer errors now. That's good. A repeating background. Oh, there was a repeating background in the other one. I didn't realize that. Oh, what do you know? Does it like scroll to the left and then if, oh yeah, it does. Oh, and then reposition, does that set itself to being the, some length? Oh, and then it like duplicates to the right. Okay, I accept. Okay, so that's fine. That means I can probably get rid of this scrolling repeating background. Boom. And now, hey, they're all gone. Okay. And so now I can go in and I can look at my other prefabs. Flappy Bird style, prefabs, player. And I could put Candula Fairy into here. So one life hack I'm going to do. Where's Fairy? Oh, wait, Fairy is bird? Am I crazy? I had bird script on it. Or as I click, okay, there it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so Fairy and bird basically do the same things, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually use inheritance so that I don't need to change code in a bunch of places or break anything. Bird and fairy, you know, maybe different fairies move in different ways anyway, so I'd need to have variants of the same object. So I'm going to make a parent class. I'm going to call it player. I'm just going to call it player. So in Unreal, you'd call it a pawn. It's like a pawn is like something the player controls. I'll call it player behavior. Boom. So we have player behavior, we have bird, we have column. And by column, I meant to say fairy. A column, I hope, is not a type of player. Okay, so fairy, instead of being just a regular old mana behavior, he's a type of player behavior. And so is a bird. A fairy, and a bird are essentially the same. It's reading everything in here. Cool. So I can actually cut all the code from this one of bird. Boom. And I can put it inside of player behavior. Boom. And I can cut it all out of fairy. Boom. Because now fairy and bird will both play exactly like this guy. So if I pop back over here, does it get its components on start? Okay, that's what happens. Cool. And is dead is its own variable. Cool. Cool. So now if I go back over here, I should still, when I click on fairy, I should still see that. And when I press play, unless there's like other scripts missing and stuff, it's still working. I don't know if that was as loud for you as it was for me, but that was very loud. And now the issue is, since I deleted some scripts, you know, now it has missing scripts. I was hoping that it wouldn't because it didn't compile yet, but it's fine. Because I know exactly what should be on them. on the background movers, I would assume that it has scripts, repeating background, skadoosh. Probably the same thing for the second one. Repeating background, skadoosh. And these are kind of wonky in the first place. So I might just delete them. I don't know. Thorns obstacle should be a single obstacle. But let's look at the setup over here. So an obstacle, I have enemies. And oh, poor little Kirby. Yeah, see how enemy, this particular enemy has both the sprite on it, the box collider, and the instruction to move. Okay, so enemy movement behavior. He does that stuff. So let's, I'm just thinking how I want to do it. I want to fix the thorns. And I also want to have, I want to do minimal changes to fix those thorns. We've got the basics in. So let's pop back over to the scenes. We're here. I see all these, but like they're all, actually, you know what? I might accept. The thorns would be like the thing that has the two columns in it. Thorns obstacle combination 1. You could have something like that. Let me break down the, do you see breakdown completely? A prefab, unpack completely. So that makes it no longer a prefab. So each of these sprites, okay, these look like they're set up relatively right. But where's this one? Oh, he's his own thing. Sprite obstacle B has a renderer, a script that it doesn't know about. That makes sense. Let me break down his prefab as well. Prefab, unpack completely. So now he uses his own thing. And this is really, gotcha. So I'm like, do I want it to be, I think I want the rigid body and stuff to be inside of a container so that I could like move it around and you could scale this thing separately while this can still be a scale of 1 just to make life easier. I don't know. Just to clarify about what I'm doing right now, because I know that I'm kind of wandering. But as you saw, we've got most of the code. Well, we got all the code from Flappy Bird into here using that package and then cleaning up any of the duplicate scripts and then making some inheritance magic so that things just work better. So that you can have a bird or you can have a fairy or whatever, and they all like work the same because they have some base similarity, like they all are types of players. And now I'm looking at these thorns and being like, okay, how would I fix this problem where we have a bunch of different thorns and they're supposed to be moving to the right, but they're not. And I believe it's because all of them lost their references to boop, 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 boop. If I right click on all these, boom, 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 and boom, and I think one more, boom, I can click on scripts, Flappy Bird style scripts. Dang it. One more time. Okay. And he needs his scrolling object script on him. Boom. Enemy behavior can be for something more complicated, where it like not only does it move to the left, but it also like moves up and down and a bunch of crazy stuff. Scrolling object, I'm just checking. I have it open on the other side. It just adds a velocity, tells it to move to the left, and goes from there. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna add one more empty object in here, create empty. Thorns obstacle A, and this goes inside of it. And now each of these would be their own prefab. Prefabs, obstacles, A. I've actually never tried this. Can I do multiple? No, that'd have been nice. G. A, B, G, C, D, E, F. So now we have a bunch of different thorn types. And we have a combination of thorns, which would have all these prefabs inside of it. Kind of surprised that it just knew to lay them out like that, but whatever. Not going to think about it too much. And now when I press start, this combination, which is essentially like the columns that had 2 columns in it, is now going to have a series of obstacles. I noticed that one doesn't appear to have a collider. Oh yeah, it looks like I need to fix that. So let's pop in here, remove this one, go in here. Okay, that looks fine. I wouldn't recommend polygon colliders too much because as you can see, it makes them pretty messy, and like calculation wise, it's heavier than just a box or like a simple polygon. But totally up to you. Like, let me see. I think I made one that looked relatively okay.
I think it was like the second one from, I think it might have been that one.
Yeah, maybe it got changed. I was like, I could swear that I made it. Oh, was it that one?
I think it was
No.
like the first one you were saying just now, not that one.
That one.
The Castle Clay first one, and then I think it was that one.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a little. So this is like borderline okay. It starts not being okay if all the colliders look like this.
Oh, that was.
You know what I mean? Like it starts getting kind of complicated.
Oof.
But it's fine for the hero character. Like that's okay. Just don't make all of them like that.
Okay, I mean,
Because I know you like people will be mad. Like, oh, it hit like here, and my character isn't even there. Why did I die? So I'm gonna hit play and just see if everything moves to the left. It didn't yet. Oh, null reference exceptions. Oh, did I not drag in? Something was a null.
Professor.
Yes.
Sorry. How long are we going to do this? Because I have to get my vaccine shot soon.
Oh, I mean, you can go. I really just needed the. I'm recording this and it'll be uploaded.
Okay.
2, I really needed you to get the files.
Okay.
And then now that I have them, I can kind of work with people and get things done.
Okay,
So we are good to go.
Okay, sorry. I'm just
Get
really
out of here.
busy.
Get your vaccine.
Sorry,
That's
I'm
important.
like so busy like nowadays. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, no
But
worries, no worries.
Thank you.
Of course. Bye.
Bye, KP.
Bye, KP.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, KP. Bye.
Wait. Okay, so the reason I'm getting an error is because either the rigid body isn't being found or the game control isn't being found. Let me look in here. It's saying object reference not set to an instance of the object. It's not saying which object, but I'm looking in here and I do see a game controller that's missing its script. Okay, classic Justin. Okay, so let's go to scripts. Let's drag in game control. Boom. I guess I should just scroll through now, see if I see anything else that's missing. I think we're all good. Hey, there it goes. But now we need the background to move with it. Oh, didn't I fix those? Weird. Repeating background. Boom. Maybe I'm crazy. Oh, there's two. Oh. Oh, okay. I must have messed up. Okay, so it must be repeating background and a scrolling object. Let's try that. Ah, hey. There we go. And so now we're getting to something playable. Ah. And I assume the game controller just doesn't have score text filled in. So let's find that score text. There it is. And it didn't know what the game over text was. Boom. Drag that in. Score will not go up because we don't have those trigger volumes that are between the two columns. That's easy to add. It's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I know we're actually going to have a score system, but I'm not certain about it yet.
She just falls to her death. And now I'm tapping and it sounds and it's loading. Oh. Let's see that again.
Okay,
So I'm tapping once.
Can I ask why it's kind of like zoomed out a bit? Like what's it like? I can see some like blue in the screen. Cause I know that wasn't like a thing like before. Like in the gameplay screen.
Yeah.
Like when you were showing us, it's like I'm not sure why it's like that.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Oh yeah, it was last night. I still got to do like the third one, but like I was like I got bothered because they're kind of just like so still. I was like, let me make them move a little bit.
There's my camera. There's my camera. There's my canvas. Screen space overlay. I guess if it's all sized to that. What happens if I do this? I'm just curious. Yeah, I wouldn't expect that to do anything different, all right? Huh. I'll look into that a bit. I'll look into that a bit on our homework. That's an interesting finding. Let me go to, how do you set a specific aspect? Oh, as a plus. And what was the canvas? Oh, it's a different scene. Scenes, or boom. Scenes, level map. Share save. 1334 by 1750. What happens if I do that? Wait, what? Oh, 1750. Whoops. That's better. So now if I set that scale to 1. I wonder if it's because it's beyond the resolution of my monitor.
Oh, I see.
I wonder if that's what's going on. I bet that's it. I bet it's like trying to scale to a resolution. Because if I do a regular 16 by 10 or 16 by 9, it looks fine.
Okay.
I have a feeling it's because like iPhone resolutions are weird. So cute. Okay. The next thing we can do. Hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. Hey, it's me. Oh no, don't pick me. You can do that kind of stuff. It's fun. Anyway, okay. So it looks like we got all that stuff through the door. I click on here and I can play.
Okay, there we go. I was like concerned for a second because on that screen it had like the blue, but now it's working. It looks perfectly fine. Are we allowed like to move like the vines around so like they're not just cut off in the air? Like if I just scale it upward, not scale it, but you know, move it Let's say.
So there are some things we can chat about. Specifically, your question is, okay, so we're in level 2. Can you go in and move these up? Yeah, I'd say go into the prefab and say, okay, you're saying you want something like this.
Yeah.
You could do that. If you want to always have the same level setup, you could make one big prefab that just has your whole level in it.
Okay.
But if we're going to use the random spawner thing, this was really just so that I can see all the work you've done. And then later we would replace this with that like random spawner thing.
Alrighty, okay.
Either way is fine. I've seen both work. If you want to have like a specific level setup, sure, yeah, go in here and just move them up and down, and then like there'd be something at the end that would be like a trigger volume that would denote that it's the end of the level, something
Alright.
like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, sure, feel free. Go into the prefab and move stuff around. Were you saying something more like this?
Yeah, just so it's not like, there's like an obvious cutoff point. It's not just floating in the air. So there's more at the bottom of the canvas. So
Yeah, sure.
Upward, that kind of thing.
Yeah, move them around as much as you want, but just keep in mind that they might not be there for long because it might just be like spawned in the future.
Yeah,
they might. Yeah, they might just get automatically spawned. But yeah, sure. If that will also help you with look dev. Like okay, this is how I want it to look. I want it to look like this, and then that'll help you going forward anyway to be like, okay, how would I actually make that happen? Because like that obviously should be like that, and that should be like this. And then maybe like obstacle B, I could have 2 of them. And like it'd be reversed, like create, whoa, okay. Coming up from the bottom and like, whoa, it's all big and scaled. Whoa, scary.
Okay, I think Luna has a question, but she typed in the chat.
Yeah, sure. Spooky. All right, Belinda, shoot. Oh, wait. Oh, I've been missing this chat this whole time.
No, she just put it in there. She's just saying how she can't really say it.
Yes, this is still using. Okay, so this is not using the Flappy Bird stage in the sense that I am not using Flappy Bird style scene or scenes main. I'm not using this one at the moment. It is using it in the sense that I'm using all the scripts from it, but in a new scene. So you don't have to use all the Flappy Bird code, just like what I said before, where we're using all the code. We're not necessarily using the spawning yet, but you could have a prefab that represents each level. So like, oh, this is the setup for level 1. This is essentially your level design. And you could put a trigger at the very end of it, like create empty and add a component trigger box collider 2D. And did it? Oh, yeah, I did. And you could say like you are going to be a height of boom, big, and you're going to be a trigger. And when it hits the trigger, load the next scene. It could be that easy. Totally up to you. I'll even call this level 1 layout. Or actually, this is technically level 2, right?
Yeah.
Level 2 layout. I'll go to my prefabs and I'll rename, where'd it go? Actually, where did it go? Is it here? Obstacles. Level 2. Yeah, you don't have to use the column spawner. You could, just like what I was saying. It just depends on what you want to do. If this makes more sense to you, that's fine. Of doing like a full layout like this.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry if that's like a non-answer, but it's like I don't care how it's done. I just care that it's playable in the end. But yeah, cool. I mean, I think this gets you pretty close, right? This is getting there.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, he's a big, beefy vine. And this is what you meant, like, right? You wanted them to be like
Yeah.
at the edges. Where are you? Wait, what are you? And I forgot to apply all. And now that should all be in here. And I'll call this like level ending. What would this be? This would be like go to the healing scene trigger.
Yeah, unless that's scrapped in the end. I gotta see. But for now, yeah, I'm supposed to do that.
Yeah, just call it level end trigger. And then you could like go into the scripts here and say like, okay, create a C# script and call it like end level trigger behavior. Behavior, dang it. Behavior. I'm just going to complain at me because typo. Boom. You can say on trigger enter. And instead of being a crazy person, if other .game object .get component player behavior. So it doesn't matter if it's a bird or if it's a fairy. Then scene unity engine dot scene management. Oh god, scene management dot load scene scene manager. God, dot load so long. 2 was that the map scene? I think it was 2. So now I can be like, okay, oh, don't crash. Now I can go like this. I can move it all the way over here because I'm lazy. I have to remember to have a scroll thing on it, scrolling object, so it moves to the left. And now basically right when I press play, I should go to the next level unless I'm a liar. Missing component. There is no rigid body. Oh, whoops. Boom. It didn't have a way to move to the left because it didn't know its rigid body. Come on. Checks. If on trigger enter, debug.log, I have hit other.name. I'm doing this for funsies. I'll give it another 5 minutes just to give you how I imagine it would work.
Okay.
Come on. Okay, so he's not hitting it. Oh, do I have gravity turned on? I bet he's falling down. Oh, whoops. Gravity. If I were to leave these off and move my scene over here and then press play. Oh, is he moving?
I think like the thing itself is moving.
Oh, this is the prefab. Right. So I'll go in here and then I'll click my theory is that it's falling, but let's find out. Yeah. Okay, so let's turn off Y movement. Let's turn off rotation. Let's turn off gravity. Boom. Let's check the settings on this. So there's a rigid body. There's a scrolling object. There's a collider on it. I don't think I need a sprite renderer. Oh, but I don't have, duh. I don't have that on it. That's why I wasn't getting the message, because it didn't exist. Okay, so right now, oh shucks, what did I do wrong? Am I crazy? Am I crazy boy? Level and trigger. You are a trigger. You have a rigid body. A scrolling object. You have the script on it. Oh, on trigger enter 2D. Like I said, I never ever work with 2D stuff, so I'm allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah, it's totally okay.
I'll do what I want when I want. Why even make them different if they have the same exact logic? Thank goodness.
Yay.
Boom, done. And then it load whatever scene you want. All right.
Thank you
I'm
so
gonna
much.
go back to work.
Okay.
All right, I'll talk to y'all later. I'll push these changes. Actually, I'll do that right now.
Okay.
Looks like it's got a lot of changes. I'm not gonna push the change in the version, but everything else I think is good. Big old Flappy Bird push. Boom.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, Justin. Really
Yeah, no
appreciate it.
problem.
We
I
hope-
know
thank you,
that this
Justin.
was a big sweater. So I'm glad that we got through it, because I was like, the game is so close, it just needs the game.
Yeah.
All right, so cool, it's in. Oh, and don't forget to move it's gonna, right when you press play, it's gonna, I'll do that now. I forgot to move this back somewhere. And I'll put like a cube on it, just so you know.
Okay.
Just so you don't go, why is the game quitting out? Okay,
Like you want, you're done.
I'll show you a quit. Cube. So when you hit this cube, it'll, just like this thing down here, it'll kick you out. Okay, cool. I'm curious why it's not marking that as, oh, because it's not a prefab itself. Right. Okay, so now when I hit that thing, it'll go away. It just has a collider, and it just has a mesh renderer. Okay, we're all good. Okay. Sure. And now it should have just marked, yeah, that I added a scene, and then I changed the prefab a bit. Whoops, the end game trigger was super close. All right, we are all good. I want me to upload this video. Is that useful, or do you think you're all are good?
Well, probably for Sarah, it might be helpful if you were to upload it, and also so I can check back in case I need to like check things with like the vines and stuff. Just, yeah, I think uploading would be helpful. What do you think?
Yeah. Is it okay to upload
Oh
it?
yeah, no, it's no problem for me.
So I can actually watch it again.
Yep, no problem for me. All right, I'll talk to y'all later, and have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Have a good baby moon.
Woo, will do.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Later.
Bye.